Well, there's a lot of more than one thing can be true at one time. The tournament can still be exciting, and there could be a lot of chalk. The Mountain West could have had a hell of a regular season and not a great postseason. The Big East is really good. Well, the Big East is really good. More than one thing can be true at a time, and I think that's what we're seeing. I think it's been an entertaining tournament. I mean, it depends where you come from. I got a yesterday. Oh, it's not been any good. It's been all chalk. Well, it's been pretty good, I thought. But I'm really curious to get your opinions as we go through it. And since last we spoke, the Lobos were knocked out of the NCAA tournament, and I know we got to get there as well. Good morning to you, and happy Monday. It is your opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and DC back together again in studio. How we living?
Oh, what it do?
You all right?
Fantastic.
Big weekend. You had a couple days off. We were out at DSI, which was really cool for us last week.
Nice. How'd that go?
It was actually awesome.
Awesome.
By the way, JJ, I went back there on Friday afternoon. Place was packed. People at their big March Madness open house. And again, thanks to everybody at DSI for having us out there. Really good people, and it was a good time. So, and where you want to start? You want to start with the tournament as a whole, or you want to start? I mean, it feels like a month ago the Lobos lost, doesn't it?
Oh, when you play any Thursday or Friday, and then just everything that goes on, it does feel like so long ago, but yet it really wasn't.
It was a couple days ago, 77-56. We were out at Revel for the big watch party. Man, you want to talk about packed, by the way. Wow. People were parking in Berlin, I think, to walk over there. The great party out at Revel. Thanks to everybody who came out and it was a party. I mean, just gigantic. People who were working were going, I had no idea we're getting this many people. See the power of the sports animal. That's what I'm telling you. It was a crowd that was so ready to go. They were so ready to go. I'm glad I brought my phone because the San Diego State game was on at the same time. And I had to put it on my phone because every TV went to New Mexico and against Clemson. And the crowd was just stoked. And they just didn't play well. They shot under 30%. They turned the ball over 13 times. They got beat, JT, dare I say, by a team that was just bigger and better and stronger and more athletic. And they got run out 77-56. Two things can be true. They had a hell of a season, won a Mountain West Conference championship. But they got handled in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Yeah,
this is going to be kind of a process over the next week or so of just digesting everything at the end of the year. Looking forward to next season once names start popping up for everyone with UNM and then the teams that are getting knocked out of the tournament in the transfer portal and what's going to be next. And for New Mexico, thank goodness for Las Vegas because it gave you something to hang your hat on, cut down nets at the end of the season, because that was an incredibly disappointing performance against Clemson. And the way they played in Las Vegas, and beating Boise State, beating San Diego State, and Rich Pitino even talked about it leading up into the Clemson game. He felt like his team kind of learned how to handle size a little bit, showed a different style of play that they could use, and they were never in that game with Clemson.
They weren't. And there's just not a ton of positive to take from that particular game. There's a lot of positive take out of the season. Nelly Jr. Joseph played really well, 14 points and 12 rebounds on 5 of 9 shooting. But after that, you look through it and they shot 3 of 23 from 3-point land. I think there were two things that I thought this team, and I think I kind of said it throughout the year, JJ, that maybe two things that this team needed. Obviously, one of them, that's not even one of these two. They were small at the guard, but that was something that you knew going in. JJ, they didn't have a sniper, right? A real like a 3-point shooter that was your go-to guy. Jamal Baker was supposed to be that guy. KJ Jenkins was supposed to be the guy in the year previous. And they don't have one of those real athletic, seems like everybody in the world's got one of those, 6'4" to 6'7" swing guards that's athletic, that can guard on the perimeter, but can guard low, that gets to the hole, that creates, right? That you've had the past. It seems like, you look around the NCAA tournament, there's so many of those. And I think that's where they're going to concentrate in recruiting, don't you?
Absolutely. This was a team that they made it work with the 3 guards to the point that they were able to win Mountain West Championship in Las Vegas, and then just we knew it was there. Like, we knew it would happen. This team versus size, but you thought at least they figured something out to compete, and Clemson left no doubt. And I think it's something that you said Friday when we were together. You're like, this Clemson team is tired of hearing about New Mexico,
Man.
and the Cinderella the Lobos could be.
It always scares me when everybody's picking somebody. Like everybody, I'm on this 11 team. I'm on this 11. And they're just sitting there just going, really? What about us, man? We're pretty good. And by the way, they're still playing. And Clemson obviously got through New Mexico, and then last night got through Baylor in a game in which their best player fouled out, and they held on down the stretch and won. So there's a lot there. I don't want to let you sit around, and I don't think you will, tarnish a whole season that there was progress. JJ, I was leaving Revel, ran into somebody I know well, and she was there, and she was disappointed, and she said it's been ringing my ears ever since, and it was ringing in my ears as I watched Yale win, and as I watched Duquesne win, and as I watched Dayton, although I think it's similar, at Oakland, and even Utah State. She says, are we ever going to get over the hump? And it was such a raw, disappointed, honest question, right? It's like, is it ever going to be us? And I think so. I think so. And you don't want to hear about process and building, and because it was the first time you were back in 10 years, and I understand it. Grand Canyon built, right? It took Grand Canyon. Boy, why was that something to watch last night? But Grand Canyon took time to build. For them to get to where they were yesterday, battling with Alabama for a chance to go to the Sweet 16. San Diego State took a long time to build. I know you don't want to hear it because you're like, how long did Yale take? Well, what about Florida Gulf
faster
Coast?
than New Mexico.
Right. No, I get that. And it's been ringing in my ears. And as I look, down, we got an 11th seed that's hardly a Cinderella in North Carolina State. And then a bunch of, a lot of chalk, right? Some 5 seeds that got through. But it's just been ringing my ears. What's it going to take for New Mexico? And I looked. It kind of brings me back to the Mountain West Conference thing. I thought Colorado State was competitive. They were. They didn't get blued out by who beat Colorado State? Texas. They scored 11 points the first half, and then came back and were competitive. Boise State was competitive, right? Who beat them? Back me down. Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Colorado damn near got to the Sweet 16. Utah State won a game before just getting obliterated yesterday. But they won a game. San Diego State, my brother says, look, they got another soft draw. Whatever, man. Play who's in front of you. They didn't beat Auburn. Yale did. Then they took care of Yale yesterday. They're back in the Sweet 16 again. I feel for Lobo fan in that respect because she's someone who I admire. She grew up with the Lobos, went to UNL, like just grew up in it, man. Her dad was a big sports fan, big Lobo supporter, right? And DC, you lived it for the last month. You saw this thing bubbling. What that team means to this community, and my only answer was, yeah, I think so. I didn't know what to say, and I've been thinking about, honestly, I've been thinking about
what keeps you coming back.
But I've been thinking
I think so.
I've been thinking about it since Friday. Are they ever going to get over the hump? I think so.
I hope so.
I think so.
I hope so. It keeps you coming back.
I've said this for years. And I don't say this as a knock or a slight or a backhanded compliment. I say this as, I think it's true. How many times have you heard me say this? And I believe this. They're the best program in America that's never been to the Sweet 16. Right? They're a good program. They've had good players. They won league championship. It's a good program. But when you see, Abilene Christian get through, right? Not this year, but in years past. And you see what VCU did. You see George Mason and his teammates and James Madison and his teammates, right? Win games. Or you see the teams. I don't know. How would you have answered that?
I hope so. Because that's what keeps you coming back with anything, is the hope that you could be one of those teams. And it's the performance was frustrating, and it's just double whammy that it's not even in the second round. You're one and done, and you don't even get that chance of what could happen or what if when you come back on that floor on Sunday, and it's feels so far away at times because you watch this tournament, and you're right, so much happens. No one wants to hear about process or building at that point in time.
Right.
I think that a lot of people went through the weekend, took a step back, and enjoyed the ride. And at least you're back to having that high expectations, the regular season games that matter. The pit filled up again, fun nights watching basketball. But still that giant question of what you just said. And I think a lot of people are wondering that.
It's just been ringing in my ears ever since. And I watched great games. I watched Grand Canyon. I mean, damn, Grand Canyon damn near got through. Right? Grand Canyon played so well. Duquesne wins a game. Well, I mean, I think you're a better program than Duquesne overall, right? Are you a better program overall than Grand Canyon? I think so. You're right. Dayton won a game. We're kind of, in large respect, like Dayton, right? The Oakland story. Damn, Oakland damn near is in the Sweet 16. Oakland, not California. Oakland. That'd have been a great story. And there is one of those, and there's two of those every year. All right? But I don't know. I want to go through it today. And Lobo fan, now that you've had the weekend, where are you? Because both things can be true. More than one thing can be true. You could have a great season. I think you had a really good season. You won a conference championship. You cut down nets. It's a big deal. It is. I've seen it going back and forth with the Twitter, Lobo fan and San Diego State fan. And Lobo, do what you want. Let me ask you this. Because you know where I think you know where I'm going. Would you rather cut down nets or get to the Sweet 16? Get to the Final Four?
Advance in the tournament?
Kind of, yeah. And Lobo fans been clapped back at San Diego State. Yeah, but we took you 2 out of 3. And they're like, dude, we went to the national championship game last year. We're still playing. And everybody gets bitter. Where are you now? 505-246-0610.
Backdating the rest of the Mountain West Conference.
Yeah, I think that was what your 3 days of unity and it's over. I hate you, you hate me, we hate each other, and damn you, Utah State, right? All right, we'll get through. I want to hear your thoughts on the tournament, on the Lobos as they go through. 505-246-0610. We're going to get into the Shohei Ohtani thing today because that's big. Kim Mulkey makes us all want to watch the Washington Post now. I can't wait till that story drops. But what did you like? In I don't know. Where are you? Did you enjoy the tournament so far? Were you staring at it? I've enjoyed it. There's been some great games. There's been some great endings, but not a whole lot of those Cinderellas. Is that okay with you? Or do we need more SEC teams and more Big East teams and more Big 12 teams? Because, well, there's just not enough. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck in D.C. Thanks for being with us on a beautiful Monday morning on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Madman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you Madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
What's going on?
Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres.
They call him the Hammer.
Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain.
Who's that?
That's your new buddy in jail.
I'm going out, Grandma.
When are you coming home?
I'll be home late. Don't wait up, okay?
Be careful, mijito.
Love you, Grandma.
Mijito. He's a good man. Sometimes he just makes bad decisions. I tell him, mijito, cuidado. Be careful. You might hurt someone. He doesn't listen.
I tell you to stop, okay?
Hello.
It's me.
Hi, mijo. Where are you?
Dale was drinking and driving. I need you to come and get me, okay? Please, Grandma? Can you just come and get me? Grandma?
Leave him in jail.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Albuquerque.
246-0610. That's how you can get here today. It's the opening drive. Jefferson Vieta, JJ Buck. We're going through the NCAA tournament. Fun stuff yesterday. I mean, the Grand Canyon. I got a text yesterday, JJ, and I just my response was I respectfully disagree, and it came into this whole dissertation about all the games are blowouts and it's all chalk, and it started out where it said I'm trying to the wording being exactly the entire tournament has been blah. If you just look at the results, I imagine you could say the entire tournament is about huge blowouts, all chalk from the top seeds, only one thriller from an underdog, Oakland. Not a lot of excitement or big upsets.
Does Yale not count?
Yale doesn't count. Evidently, Yale didn't count. Grand Canyon didn't count. Duquesne didn't count. No, I'm just reading the text, man. My response was I respectfully disagree, and I got this dissertation about how only 7 games have been close. Evidently, the game that was double digits that went overtime didn't count as close. And again, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing.
I know Houston, Texas A&M last night
was tremendous.
A great nightcap. Going OT. I don't know how A&M got that shot up, let alone hit the 3 with 1.2 seconds left.
The response on that was bad coaching on Houston. The response was it was bad coaching on Houston's part. I'm just telling you.
I know you're just passing along stuff, but I think this is, there's a lot of two things can be true this morning with what we're discussing. Is it chalky in the Sweet 16? Yes. Has the tournament been entertaining? Absolutely. And I will say I have loved this weekend because YouTube TV, the multi-view.
Yeah. We get all 4 of them.
Watching all 4 games Thursday and Friday is unbelievable. But then you get into Saturday, Sunday, and they split it. And you can do multi-view, so you can have the women's and men's tournament on at the same time.
Yeah.
My goodness. Yeah. Well, Stanford, Iowa State on the women's side yesterday.
Yeah. Did you
just epic
catch
basketball.
the end that shot Stanford hit at the end last night to win that game? It was terrific. Look, I will preface this. I will firmly agree. This is not the best tournament I've ever seen. It's not the greatest ever, first 2 rounds. but and there's blowouts all the time. There's always blowout. You never remember the blowouts in the first and second round. But I will tell you that yesterday, the Marquette Colorado watch was really good. Clemson and Baylor was really good. Grand Canyon, Alabama was beyond really good. It was like watching a freaking video game go up. I mean, and everybody's on the ground and just cared so much. A&M Houston was terrific yesterday. I mean, it was the number one seed on the ropes.
Saturday night, Oakland, North Carolina State.
Saturday, Michigan State, Carolina was good. Yeah, it got away at the end. Arizona, Dayton was tight. Washington State was with Iowa State the whole time. Tennessee, Texas was really good. Creighton and Oregon was good. Yeah, it ended up a 13-point game. But by the way, that was overtime. I guess that doesn't count as a close game because it was 13 points, but it went into overtime. Gonzaga handling Kansas was good, and NC State, Oakland was a battle, man, in overtime. So like what you watch. Like I'm not going to tell you what to like.
The Cinderellas went home early.
They did.
They got sent home early, and that's why I think the Oakland game. So many.
But they're not Cinderella. Remember what Jay Golke told you? We're not Cinderella.
You can believe that, but you are Cinderella.
Yeah. I mean, don't call us Cinderella. Who's on one? I can't hear that. I have no idea what you just said to me. I saw your mouth move.
Tony.
There we go. All right, now I got it. We got a little down machinery here, so we're going old school. He's got to Morse code me who's on line one. What's up, Tony? You're on the Sports Channel. Hi, Tony.
Hey, I thought this weekend was great. I'm disappointed the Lobos lost, but I'm glad they got there, and I was thrilled. And one of the things that I noticed is that all those lower seed teams that took the higher seed into overtime ended up losing.
Yeah.
And I just think it's that experience, the length. It was a great weekend. I loved the weekend.
Yep.
I love that the Lobos made it there. I hope Max Murray comes back, and I hope we go out and find that 4-6-5 guy like you talked about.
Yeah, that swing guy. All right, man. No, appreciate you, Tony, and thanks for the call. I'm with Tony. But I like this stuff. But when I like something, I'm going to probably find what I like about it more than what I don't like. Like, by the way, you know me. I'll watch a golf tournament, right? And yeah. I watched the Valspar this weekend. I flipped over and watched some of that because I really enjoyed it. I love the NCAA tournament. I think it's the best sporting event we have in our country. And I watched literally game after game of guys who cared, diving on the floor. And I hear, well, they don't care anymore. They're getting their NIL. I don't know, man. Did you watch Grand Canyon, Alabama? Did you watch Oakland, NC State? Did you? I mean, some of these games, it's hard. You're going to have a hard time convincing me that they don't care.
They care. Get to the NCAA tournament and what you can do, the opportunities that are in front of you.
How was Yale and Auburn the other night? Did they care? I mean, I think they cared, man. All right, what about Mountain West? So San Diego State's left. We had this conversation. Would there be a team standing? And, you're going to tell me, well, they got lucky that Yale got through Auburn, and whatever, man.
I don't know if they got lucky. You look at Auburn's recent tournament history.
Yeah.
Not that great.
Yeah.
A little overrated.
And I took Auburn all the way to the Final Four. I loved what they were doing. I loved how they were playing.
What happens if they don't meet New Mexico State? Is Bruce Pearl still the head coach at Auburn?
If they don't play New Mexico State?
If they don't beat New Mexico State.
Auburn. When did Auburn play? I forget that. Auburn played New Mexico State?
In the tournament. Remember it came down to the end?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I remember them playing Michigan State. They play a lot of those. Yes. They play a lot of those really close.
That's all. Some people talking about that over the weekend too. Like, this Auburn team with Bruce Pearl? Not great in March.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of them. I mean, look, Kentucky, literally is trying to figure out how to raise $33 million to fire John Calipari. John Calipari is one of the best coaches of this generation. Do we agree with that? You don't have to like him. You can tell me he cheats, whatever. Is he one of the best coaches of this generation?
He's been pretty good.
And they went out in the first round. They get beat by
Oakland.
So they're this year's victim. And it's time to get rid of them. And look, I'll have this conversation about how to recruit in college basketball now.
Now, do they want to get rid of the Oaklands of the world in the first round so this doesn't happen?
Yes.
So these guys don't lose their jobs when losing to Oakland. It's like, oh, we got beat by Tom Izzo, Michigan State. What do you expect?
Look, this is and this is where this is going, and it's so depressing to me because I firmly believe that the SEC and the Big 12 run the world, and they're going to get whatever they want. And Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, basically wants the Oaklands to play the Yales in the first round so they don't get through, knock each other out, so they and then put them into the main bracket. Where Fran Fraschilla, I thought, had the best idea on the expansion if you're going to expand it to 72. Give the automatic qualifiers the spot in the main bracket and have the final at-larges play in the playing games in Dayton and play into the regular bracket. Now, I agree with him 1,000%, but you're going to have to convince the SEC and the Big 12 that their teams are going to get knocked out early instead of Oakland and Yale and Duquesne and the New Mexicos and the Utah States, and you're not going to have it. And so you're just going to be able to watch the SEC tournament again because they're all going to get in. There's going to be 18 Big 12 teams anyway, so 12 will get in, and it just whatever, man. I sat there the other day, like Colorado, Florida. Did you watch the Colorado, Florida game? 102-100. I know you watched it. That was a good watch, man. But when we come back, we got to get into the Mountain West and what it means. And again, two things can be true, but there's one team left. The over/under was 4.5 wins. That means San Diego State's got to beat UConn to get over, right? They got the Colorado State win, the Utah State win, and 2 San Diego State wins. They got a tough task. But you know what? Do you remember who San Diego State played the Sweet 16 last year? They played the number 1 overall seed in the tournament last year, too. It was Alabama on their way to the Final Four. We'll get into how the Mountain West did. 505-246-0610 is how for you to get here. Your thoughts on the tournament so far. And I want to hear your thoughts. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Getting a little storm coming in. After the storm, an idea. Spring clean your vehicle. It is one of your biggest investments. Take care of it by calling On the Spot Automotive Detailing. On the Spot Automotive Detailing will come to you on the spot and detail your vehicle inside and outside and around the rims. And this is what the car dealers do, right? So when you took your car off the lot, it was detailed. Remember how clean everything was? It was like it was brand new. You can have that by calling On the Spot. They'll come to your office. They'll come to your house, wherever it is that works for you, and they will take care of it for you. Their ceramic coating and paint protection film, it's like magic. No more mud and dirt, water stains. And they got a protective layering that helps prevent UV oxidation, which damages your car's paint. Awarded best in the city because they know what it takes to keep your car in the best condition it can be. Visit On the Spot Automotive Detailing, book and buy at otsdetailing.com, otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The All-Star Game is back in Albuquerque. March 22nd and 23rd, the state's best are under one roof. Visit nmhca.com for tickets and streaming information.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
And the sports animal.
Good weekend for Lobo baseball over San Jose State. JJU had softball this weekend. How'd they do?
Well, lost Friday night, the game I had, and then had a really interesting doubleheader on Saturday. Nice walk-off game one from Rachel Hathoop.
Hathoop?
Fantastic local player.
Lobo baseball with San Jose State this weekend. They got beat on Friday and then swept the doubleheader. Which day's 22? What days? Yeah, Friday, and then took two on Saturday. So 2 out of 3 next up San Diego State. United were on the road. They got whooped it 4-0. Oh, I'm sorry, 4-0 in Charleston. Did you watch any of that? Ooh, 4-0. But they look good. They had the new kit. So
look good, feel good. Sometimes don't play good.
1-1-1 is United. They'll be at Phoenix Rising next, and tonight, opening night, Monday night football for the Duke City Gladiators. And they will be playing San Diego out at the Rio Rancho Event Center. Their head coach, their former head coach, who's now their new head coach, JJ Dominic Bramante, scheduled to be with us at 9:30 this morning. So looking forward to doing that. And then Friday is opening night for the Isotopes, and Forrest is going to be here in a little bit. We'll talk about that. So we got so much going on. 505-246-0610. All right, Mountain West put 6 teams in the tournament. There is one left as we go to the weekend. They took a little bit of a beating. As much as you guys want to hate San Diego State, with all due respect, thank goodness for San Diego State in regards to this league, no?
Absolutely. They're the only team that you should count on anymore. And even when you think they're not good, they'll find a way. Like, they battle. Looking at this team, and like, oh, they're not last year's team. Of course, they're not last year's team.
They're not.
But guess what? They're in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, they're playing the best team in America in UConn. But and again, I'll remind you, last year on their way to the Final Four, they beat Alabama, who was the number 1 overall seed in this round, with the best player in the country supposedly, and then they beat Creighton in the next round and got to the Final Four, beat FAU and lost to UConn. So this is a rematch of the national championship game. I'll go through it though. Utah State did get a nice win. I thought it was a really impressive win over TCU.
They looked really good in that game.
It was stunning to me. That was the best I'd seen Utah State look. They beat TCU. Great Osobor was terrific. The Big Fish was really good. Darius Brown was good. I thought that was the best Utah State to me had looked in a year where they looked really good, and then they came out and just got run off the court. They didn't know what to do with Zach Edey. And even when it wasn't Zach Edey, it was everybody else who was taking care of him. I'll give them, look, they're 8-9 game, and then you got to play a 1 seed. It's a tough draw to come out of that 8-9 hole. But they won a game. I'll give them that.
Yeah, that's where it starts. Give yourself that opportunity in the second round. And Purdue looked fantastic offense. I do not remember the last time that team scored 100 points. Like, they could not miss from the outside. Of course, started inside with Edey. And then this is a Purdue team that's been shooting 40% from three. You have the ultimate inside-out attack right now.
Nevada, we talked about on Friday. One of the, I mean, I hate it, but one of the worst losses I've seen. I mean, just up 17 with 7 minutes ago.
Up 17 with 7 minutes to go, blew the game, and really Nevada and New Mexico are the disappointing ones overall. When you have Colorado State lose to Texas, Boise State going out in the first four, but you can look at those games and see battle being tight. Nevada that has the ultimate collapse in the last 7.5 minutes, and this, fortunately for the Lobos, never in the game.
Francisco, you're on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Francisco.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Honestly, if you look at it honestly, Nevada should have won. That was a blown game. The Lobos should have definitely played better, but Clemson had a great game plan. They just packed the paint and turned the Lobos into jump shooters, and they missed their shots, and that comes down to that, really. But if you look at that Clemson team, they're pretty darn good. So, I mean, you look at it, yeah, I think Mount West should definitely have one more win. That's probably the Nevada win. Yep. And I give the Aztecs a chance to beat UConn. I mean, you definitely don't want if you look at Utah State yesterday, you don't want your second game to be Purdue. But that's what the seeding helps. I mean, that's where the seeding helps. But, hey, it is what it is. As far as the Lobos fans, you can look at it like, okay, we're sad, yeah, same old. Or you can go, hey, this is a beginning of something. Because now with the NIL, things are changing. I don't know if you noticed. I mean, Bill Self lost. Calipari lost. Bruce Pearl lost. New coaches are coming out. New teams are coming out. So we can donate to the 505 fund. We can support the team. We can keep moving forward, and that's what I'm going to do. Because don't look backwards, because none of that matters. None of it matters anymore. So I think there's opportunities for smaller schools. You've seen it. Grand Canyon's up now. Creighton, Gonzaga's always been there. So there's opportunities. They're there, but you have San Diego State. San Diego State is now one of those teams. So there's opportunities, but you got to invest in your program and time and money. So I'm going to donate. It's going to be a small donation, but maybe in a couple months I'll make another small donation. So
you do what you can.
I know times are tough, so let's do what we can do.
Yeah, man.
Go Lobos, man.
Thanks.
Rock and roll.
See you. And that was kind of the next question, right? The next part of this. And DC and I were having this conversation off the air. For those of you, where are you? Francisco says, I'm in. Because we've talked a lot about sustainability of collectives, right? And how much will you be able to raise that money each year? There's a big question now. You're re-recruiting your roster. Somebody said earlier, I hope Mashburn comes back. We'll see. I think, your big questions right now are Toppin and Dent, right? Are they coming back? And how do you keep them? The world's seen them. I mean, they can go play it pretty much anywhere. They can play pretty much anywhere. You've seen guys come out of this league, and you see them all around this tournament. You see them whether they're at Auburn or Texas or wherever they are in this tournament. You see them, and so how do you do it? And I wonder where Lobo fan is in regards to I'm in, man. I got a taste and I'm in, and I want to get with 505 Sports Ventures, and I want to contribute more. Or the other side was what you were saying. DC is like, did someone say, man, I gave, and this is what we got. I mean, do I want to keep giving? Do I want to keep doing this? And the answer, if they're gonna have success, is they need fans to continue to give.
Yes, right now that is the top for NIL. It's I don't know how it shifts, because from a fan standpoint, it is tough to sit back and say, if you want to be good, you have to pay more money on top of it.
Came first, right?
And to the NIL collectives. But then if you say, hey, if the schools get involved, that can make it even harder because you're not in a place where your school has that much money to be able to do that like the other conferences would. So it's just kind of like focusing on the moment. And this is what the system is right now, and this is how you can help the system.
All right, let me get you some of these texts. And remember, man, and Patino said this after. It's not like you're that far away. You did win a conference championship in a league that was pretty good. You did win 20, what was your final record? 26 games, whatever the number was, right? This isn't one of those where you're starting from scratch. You got to blow the whole thing up. You were 26-10. You're pretty good. You made the NCAA tournament. It's not like you got to start from scratch. Text line says 3 years in with Coach P, and I'm geeked. We were bigger this year than year 1 and 2. He's getting us better talent, and we must look at the big picture. I truly believe NIL will help programs like New Mexico. It's from Steve. All right. This one says, thank God the Lobo loss happened on Friday. It gave everyone time to decompress and put things into perspective before calling the show. Let's hope we can keep topping and add a couple of swings with length and size. It's from Jeffrey. This one says, where is UNM fan now that its basketball team lost its first round NCAA tournament game again, you ask? At least this fan is in the same place as usual, seeing that UNM's hardcore fans are too expectant. UNM's peripheral fans are passively satisfied, and UNM's coaches and administrators are slap happy with any and all exposure. I'm not sure I agree with all that, but okay. I'm not sure anybody's slap happy right now. They got handled in the NCAA tournament in the first round. Again, your first time back in 10 years. Do we not agree that there was progress?
Yes, there was progress.
All right. And I know progress isn't what you want. You want to, like again, I'll go back to when, as someone asked me on the way out, when's it our turn? When are we going to get over the top? Are we ever going to get there? Right? I was asked that, and it's just ringing in my ears. And does it take time? I think we all firmly believe you're on the right path, right?
Yes, but it is so hard to say that because of the unknown right now. Because it would have been easier to say that even 5-6 years ago. Now you believe that you have a competitive NIL, which UNM does within the Mountain West Conference, that the players that you're hoping to retain, Donovan and JT Toppin, know that they come back, they're probably going to have pretty sweet NIL deals.
Fine.
They know their roles within this team are going to be very large. And it's still going to be an attractive destination and transfer for them.
All right. And that's one of those things, DC, you were saying, all right, so how do you get a recruit in? Is it tougher now? I'm going to tell you that I think the exposure is good. You got there. You're one of 68 teams who did get there. You cut down nets. You've got a rabid fan base. You show them clips of the pit. You show them what the fan base that went to Vegas, and you say you're the one that gets us over the top. You're the difference. Well, you're losing this guy. Yeah, that's all right. Everybody's losing somebody, right? Everybody's losing somebody. There won't be a team in America. I don't care if your name's Kansas, Kentucky, the team who wins it all. They're going to have people in the portal. I think you're pretty attractive. You got a chance to come in and play, make a difference, and play in front of a fan base that really cares and in an atmosphere that, you were there. Pitt's pretty special, right?
Extremely. Unfortunately, though, you have to show them the money before they even take that call.
I think that's part of it, too, yeah.
So Tony was right. It comes down to money.
Well, and this collective is been at the top of its league. So is it going to be what the SEC can do? Probably not. No. But is it what's left of the pack can do? The lower end of the Big 10 or the Big 12, maybe? We'll see. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. I got a bunch of emails on Lobo basketball. We'll get there. We got to get into the Ohtani stuff because there's a ton else going on. But I want your thoughts on the tournament as we get through it. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
and AM 610, the sports animal.
All right, they've set the schedule for Thursday now. And so here's what you get on Thursday in the NCAA tournament. 5:09 is when it'll start here on the Sports Animal. That's the first tip. Clemson and Arizona. Then at 5:39, a half hour later, San Diego State, Connecticut. The late games that night will be Alabama, Carolina, and Illinois, Iowa State. So a 5-2, a 5-1, a 4-1, a 3-2. That's what you get. And then Friday's games, the early game at 5:09, North Carolina State, Marquette, then Gonzaga, Purdue, which I think will be fun. Duke, Houston at 7:39, and Creighton and Tennessee will be the late game. So that's your schedule. Thursday is when the San Diego State UConn game will be. You can hear the March Madness right here on the Sports Animal. 505-246-0610. Larry, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Larry.
Good morning, fellas. Thanks for taking my call. UNLV alum. Always try to call in when I can.
Appreciate you.
The tournament means different things for different folks. For us, it's an event. My wife, she graduated from UNM. My daughter's currently at UNM, so definitely supporting UNM. We went to the sports book at Santa Ana. 11 o'clock in the morning, we get there, and almost every table's taken. It was a phenomenal watch. The crowd was awesome. They kept lively through the game, even when shots just were not falling for the Lobos. Lobo basketball is alive and well. I wished I were able to call in and talk to Kenny about it. And when I said that the tournament's different for everybody, there's different types of fans: fair weather fans, diehard fans, so on and so forth. I fall somewhere in between. I'm going to go back to February when UNLV and the Lobos played. Obviously, a tough game for me to watch because I want both teams to do well. After the game, I decided to go ahead and keep watching, and I watched Fresno State and San Diego State play just because I like to watch Mountain West. And as I'm watching, the basketball stadium was empty. And I thought, man, these are two really good teams, especially with San Diego State being right down the road. Why are there not more people watching? And two things, and I'm trying not to babble much here. I wish I could talk to Kenny and ask him, what is it like for those Lobo players to play in the pit where it's packed, and what's it like for those other kids that come from Fresno State, from sometimes Colorado State Air Force, to a packed pit? When I say Lobo basketball is alive and well, this coaching staff is phenomenal. And I think the recruitment from He Who We Shall Not Speak Of and Noodles, they did something in the Mountain West when they were here, and they're doing something in Reno. The Mountain West basketball is alive and well. Yeah, we beat up on each other. The selection committee didn't get it wrong. They look a little smarter today than they did last Thursday. But the Mountain West teams beat up so much on each other throughout conference play. I wish they were able to transition that into the tournament for the teams that do get there. But I think, and my hope is that Lobo basketball, Mountain West basketball is going to stay lively, strong. And the Albuquerque community, Rio Rancho, Los Lunas, and those that come from Santa Fe and all the other communities on game nights, the pit means something.
Yep.
You talk to those Lobo players and ask them, what is it like to go to Utah State on a Tuesday night or a Thursday night? And sometimes they don't show up over there, but they know every single night the Lobo fans, the Lobo Nation, if you will, are going to show up. And I think that means something. For me, my son-in-law is UT alumni, Tennessee when I say UT. My wife and I were able to go over to another place and watch the Texas-Tennessee game. Like I said, there's different fans of all kinds. So we're still having fun with the tournament.
Good.
Thank you guys for your amazing coverage. And, man, go Lobos.
Thanks,
and right now, let's go Tennessee.
Appreciate you. First of all, Utah State brings it every night. Maybe Wyoming on a Tuesday night, or Fresno State or San Jose State, but Utah State brings it every night. No, look, I agree with him. Lobo basketball is alive and well. I'm not worried about Lobo basketball right now as far as being alive and well and getting support next year. Right? Are you?
Not at all.
I mean, I think everything, they're on the upswing. It's a disappointment. Would you have felt differently if they got beat by 3 points? They were more competitive in this game. Would Lobo fan be, would it be, we should have won, or would it be, I
Yes.
look at it, yeah.
They were never in the game.
And that's what's so disappointing about this one, right? I mean, we were in a packed place, man. Lobo fan was just dying to erupt, and it just at halftime was like, holy smokes, what happened? Right?
Yeah, when Clemson, a few minutes in, they go on that 19-2 run, and then you're looking at 30-11, and it's one that in the back of your mind you're like, well, we leaving early. What are we doing?
Yeah, where are we going? What time am I getting out of here? I mean, can I beat this traffic out? No, it really was. It was. I'm not worried about Lobo basketball as far as supporting this town. No, that's not the issue right now. You're in a good spot. I believe Richard Pitino's sticking around another year, right? I think you recruit well. You got a good base. If you can keep the core, you're in good place. Your league is good. Build on it. Didn't happen overnight, man. And you're like, come on, man. It's been how long? I got it. I got it. 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. 888-922-0610. Man, you got a lot of emails. I'll get you some of these as well. Your thoughts coming in on there. We got to hit on the Shohei Ohtani thing. I guess Shohei's going to be made available to the media today. Does he have a new interpreter? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for March Madness, from the first four to the final four.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Us. Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
All right, so now you go into recruitment period. Somebody drive Jeff, JJ, and DC. 505-246-0610. You've had the weekend to sit on it, get over it. Where are you, Louisville fan, as far as the end of the season? Losing to Clemson, 77-56, the first round of the NCAA tournament on Friday. And moving forward, you got one Mountain West team still alive as we hit the Sweet 16. It is
Everyone's favorite.
San Diego State. Well, here, let me give you this one. It's from Jack. And Jack sent this to me. Jeff, at sportsanimalabq.com. You can go JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Can you see now, Jeff, why OD callers were so frustrated when the Aztecs kept losing games, but it didn't hurt their RPI? Every seeding line is precious. If San Diego State's a 6, they don't get out of the first round. Instead, we now have to watch hated San Diego State again in the Sweet 16. So if they're a 6, you think they would have lost to North Carolina State or Duquesne or New Mexico or Oregon? Or can it be maybe they're pretty good?
They're pretty good.
They beat UAB, which was a battle. And you knew I was worried about that. I wasn't worried about the Yale game. I thought Yale was a fluke. How they beat Auburn was crazy. But did they get a break in the draw? You don't think they did, by the way, with Yale over instead of Auburn, right? Did San Diego State get a break having to play Yale?
Yes, that's the tournament.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You play who's in front of you.
That's the whole why you win your first one and you keep your fingers crossed because you never know what's going to happen.
Yep.
To get in your second round, and then you wake up and San Diego State, you're back in the Sweet 16 again.
Yeah. First of all, were all the OD callers so frustrated the Aztecs kept losing games but didn't hurt their RPI? What about when New Mexico kept losing and it didn't hurt their computer rankings? Did that bother you? Just asking. This league, and I'm going to go back to this again, you guys. This league was good. It didn't equate to being real good, and the Nevada thing would have really swung everything. I'm just telling you, if Nevada would have held on and beat Dayton, I think they'd have played with Arizona. I don't know if they'd have beat Arizona, but they could have played with Arizona.
Half of your teams into the second round.
Yeah. It would have been a big difference, and it just wasn't. Does that mean we needed more Big East teams and less of them? I mean, I don't know. This is from Sid. It says, worst losses. Obviously, my phone was blown up Friday, Mr. Symbieta, with folks asking me how to rank this stinker. Well, obviously, Sid. I put it up there with the 1985 when Judd Heathcote brought Michigan State through the tunnel at University Arena, led by All-America candidate Scott Skiles. Louisville fans' jaws dropped when they saw the Spartans and all the thick players they had. You didn't see guys that played like that in the WAC. And the thick guys from the East, Lansing, physically dominate. Okay, so I mean, so where is that? Is that at the top of the list? Is that in the middle of the list, Sid? Where is that? I mean, this isn't Harvard to me, is it?
No, it's not that.
When you were a 3 seed and you lost to Harvard?
Opening round loss to Harvard as a 3 seed. And you look at what the Lobos, so they've 5 NCAA tournament appearances in the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
They've been a 3 seed, 5 seed, 3 seed, 7, and 11.
So this was their worst seed.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The Harvard opening first round loss
was a 3-14.
3 seed.
Yeah.
That's
brutal.
That's up there in the recent memory.
Yeah.
09-10 team that was
beat Montana.
3 seed that beat Montana, lost to Washington.
Yeah, that was that Pondexter team, Quincy Pondexter.
Yep.
Following
11-12.
That was when they lost to Villanova. Before that, was that the Danny Granger team lost to Villanova? No,
that's not in the last 15 years.
That's not. That's you're right. You and I were back at the closet back then when that happened. Back at that afternoon.
We're getting old, Jeff. That's like 20 years ago.
That was 20 years ago, and Villanova ran them. So what was the other one?
11-12. They were a 5 seed. Beat Long Beach State in the first round.
I don't even remember that.
Lost to Rick Pitino in Louisville.
I do remember that.
Second round.
Yeah.
Then it's Harvard the following year. Then you had the Craig Neal season where they were a 7 seed, lost to Stanford. First round.
7-10 game.
58,
Yeah, I remember
53, and then what happened on Friday.
All right, Dan's in on what he calls pompous Lobo fans. Jeffrey Juan Jose and returning Diego Christian. What's up, Diego Christian? I was talking to Lobo fans that couldn't get to Memphis on Friday because of work or school, but were so overconfident they already had plans to be at FedEx Field on Sunday. Yeah. A lot of people were, man. I mean, the Lobos were the pick. Everybody was on Lobos.
Nothing wrong. Confidence.
Yeah, I'm going to Memphis.
And hoping you're going to Memphis on Sunday.
I know. Jerry, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Jerry.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
You know, personally, I'm really proud of the Lobos. And after watching a whole slew of basketball games and looking at the size of the Lobo basketball team versus everybody else, I'm ecstatic that we did as well as we did. We were extremely undersized, and we fought hard. And I think we got our money's worth out of this team. It was a great season, and I think Patino, he knows exactly what we need, and we'll see what we can get. So I'm proud of our team. I want to throw one at you guys to see what you think about this. But, you know, anymore, the way the referees are forced to call the games, I'm not blaming this on the refs, but a guy will go up for a rebound, and unless he brings his elbows straight down, parallel to his body, and turns, you know, all these fouls that they call because of incidental contact, which is rough, but gosh, basketball is a rough game. It's unbelievable the difference that makes in a lot of games, and I don't like it. And the players are partially at fault because they'll take a small hit and they'll go down like a sack of potatoes and act like they're playing soccer and writher on the ground, and then, you know, they'll call timeout and the guy he'll get up and he's fine. But I think it's getting kind of out of hand as far as that stuff goes. What do y'all think?
Yeah, no, Jerry, appreciate you, and I'm going to answer you off the air. Thanks for the call. I think it's a hard game to officiate, and I will tell you that intent is not part of what matter. If you foul a guy, whether you intended to or not, you foul a guy. You hit a guy with an elbow in the chops, it's a foul whether you intended to or not. Now, I think, you know, I watch stuff happen all the time. You know, we talked about the Samford, Kansas game the other night, right, where they call the foul that wasn't there and cost Samford a chance to be a Cinderella. I watched, you know, all kinds of different stuff. I think it's a hard game to officiate. I looked at that Grand Canyon, Alabama game last night. Dude, you could call something on every play. I don't know how to officiate. So, Jerry, it's a fair call. Elbows are flying. Dudes are getting hit. I think it's just become so fast and so athletic. It's a really, really hard game to officiate.
Yeah, and then I don't think every elbow is a flagrant foul.
I agree.
When you have rebounding involved. I know he's talking about that one rebound with Nelly Jr. Joseph in the game, caught a guy on the chops, like going up for it, and they look at it, any contact to the head, and, you know, you hope that things like that, not everyone is flagrant, because it's just not. But it's also when you kind of look at a game a certain way and you have that in your back of your mind. Because to me, watching the NCAA tournament overall, the 4 days, you had the missed call because it was a ref anticipating at the end of the Samford Kansas game, player on a fast break, gets a shot blocked from behind, and it looks ugly as it hits the ground, falling off the rim. And there's an anticipation call that it was gone wrong. But I don't think the officiating has been a major problem in the NCAA tournament.
This one goes right on that theme. It's from Lobo Hobo. It says, refs get last laugh, ? Jeff, I wonder, the officials went in with the agenda that if the game got out of hand after talking his bleep for 3 years, they were going to foul out Jalen House. A couple of those late foul calls were garbage. I'm going to tell you no. I don't think there was a meeting that says, hey, that guy right there that we've never officiated, I've seen him on the TV, but he's talking, you know, we're going to foul him out. I'm going to tell you no. Fair? You asked the softball question of the week, Jeffy, says Gopher. Let me hit it out of the gym for you. What's it going to take? Lobo basketball is going to have to draw an overrated, beaten-up Power 5 team in the first round like Kansas, and then a one-hit wonder like Yale that used up their entire team winning as a 14 seed and have nothing left since they already played their Super Bowl. It's from Gopher. Is he trying to define San Diego State? Is that what he's trying to tell me?
Probably.
All right. Don, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Don.
Good morning, Jeff. How are you,
Good.
sir?
How you
JJ?
doing?
Hey, can somebody explain to me when Nelly Jr. Joseph went up for that rebound, came down, and incidentally hit the guy in the chops? They go down, and after the first dead ball, they go to the camera to call that flagrant foul. I didn't understand that. Can you explain that to me?
I don't remember it exactly, but I know that they'll go after the next dead ball and go back and look at stuff. They can go back and look. And here's they have an official. There's a fourth official who is at the table. And if that official sees something that was questionable on the monitor, they can go back and then look at it. So, for instance, they could go back. You've seen this before. You've heard during a break, well, they took a point off the board because the 3-point shot, his foot was on the line. That's because that official saw something and they went back and looked at it. Same type of thing with one of these potential flagrants where they go back and look at it, and that could be what happened. I'm going to guess that's what happened.
I don't know. It just seems to me like we're officiating with the camera now. After that play,
we flat out are. Yes.
Yeah, and that was a pretty crucial moment because I think we had the ball and they took the ball away from us, and then they went down and shot 2 free throws and got the ball and I don't know if they hit a 2 or a 3, but right there was like a 4 or 5 point swing.
Yep.
So that was pretty disheartening right there. I think the officiating, and not just in basketball, but in all sports. Well, I can't say all sports because I don't watch all sports, but NFL, college football, the officiating, they're trying to make money with everything they do. So they want a lot of points, a lot of action, a lot of cool stuff, but they don't officiate by the rules anymore. I mean, you've got carrying the ball on every dribble, you've got traveling almost on every possession. You've got 3 seconds. They don't call the games by the rules anymore. And the problem with that is that when you're not consistent, there is no consistency. You can't be consistent when a guy's backing down a guy on offense and he backs him down and bumps into him 3 times, and then the 4th time they make contact, they call a foul. What was the difference in the first 3 bumps? Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
And that's why it's so hard. Do you call something on every play, or do you not call it on every play? I mean, what do you do? And it's really hard. But I hear you, Don. I appreciate it. I got to hit this break, but thanks for the call. Thanks, don't be a stranger. It's hard, man. It's really, really hard. Looking at my Naismith ballot, was it okay?
Very good.
Did I leave somebody off?
No.
Tell you who I voted for the Naismith ballot. I got one of those. Naismith. It was due today at noon. College basketball player of the year. So a little bit of I don't know. Was there a West Coast bias in there? Not really. No. All right. And I think Forrest is coming by. What you can get, what are the giveaways? It's baseball season. And opening day is coming up on Friday. 9:30 this morning, Dominic Bramante. He was, you weren't here when he was winning championships with the Gladiators. Well, he's back, and it's opening night. It's Monday Night Football out at Rio Rancho tonight as well. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. At AM 670 Sports Animal, you were home for March Madness from the first 4 to the final 4.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Go get him. He'd be sitting right there. And then he comes in, he wants JJ's seat. But he's buying you lunch tomorrow.
I demand a lot. We are buying you lunch tomorrow. It's going to be very tasty.
Is you buying him lunch? I mean, like, what do you, honestly, what do you have to do with it?
By association, right?
Are you buying lunch, you eating lunch?
A little bit of both.
It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. We'll get back to phone calls in a little bit, but it's kind of a cool, not kind of. I mean, this is a, like a mood changer kind of a week, don't you think? When opening day of baseball hits, right? It's and I understand what the weather is now, and I also understand what it's going to be on Friday, which is kind of baseball perfect.
Much better.
When you get out on the golf course, when you get to the ballpark, it's opening homestand. Forrest is here from the Isotopes, and we, of course, for the how many years have you been here? 22 now. The Isotopes, I believe.
It'll be our 21st season of baseball, and 22nd year with the COVID.
Yeah.
Yep,
so
exactly.
22 years and 21 seasons. The Sports Animal has been home for Isotopes Baseball. Proud to be the radio partner again. You'll be able to hear Josh Suchon. You have to stop. You got to break that up. Josh Suchon, the Aztec alum, who's, by the way, I mean, is he a happy Aztec these days?
Oh my God, he's just getting lucky one year after the next.
Why is it lucky? tell me how. No. Not, see, you
beating
stepped in this.
Furman last year.
Yeah, that's right. That's
exactly right. I mean, they got away with it last
Charleston
year.
and Furman, UAB and Yale. Oh, and then they beat the number one seed in the tournament, Alabama. Then beat Creighton. Then they got to the final. So
Alabama overseeded.
They lucked their way the way to the championship game, and now they lucked their way back.
It's just one of those things, right? You know.
We'll see you for lunch tomorrow. You can. I mean, goodbye now. Thanks for coming. You're so full of crap.
Oh yeah. I mean, they beat my Paladins last year, so I had to give them some slight. You know,
the Paladins are a great rockabilly band. You ever heard the Paladins?
I haven't actually.
Look at Paladins. Honestly, like a great San Diego-based rockabilly band, stand-up bass, like terrific.
Love to hear that. Good stand-up bass.
All right, what do I get? Ear flap hats on Friday.
First 3,000 fans.
Adult jersey hoodies on Saturday.
First 2,000 fans.
Pre-game Easter candy hunt on the field on Sunday.
12:30 to 1 o'clock for all the kiddos.
How do I get a magnet schedule? Of all that, you know what I need? I need a magnet schedule.
We'll find one for you. First 3,000 fans on Sunday.
So I got to be the first 3,000 on Sunday?
Maybe.
I mean, I got a tea time on Sunday.
What time is tea time?
It might get me there a little. 9:06.
Your gates open at 12:30, so might be able to hang one off the side for you.
All right, big stuff going on. The bottom line is this is just super exciting.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the 21st season of Isotopes Baseball coming up this year. Opening night 6:35 this Friday against El Paso. We'll have all the normal pomp and circumstance for opening night for the pregame ceremonies and whatnot. Going to be a lot of exciting things. We're going to be debuting our new lights later this evening to the media. So these lights are absolutely phenomenal.
New lights, dude.
LED lights, color changing technology, light to sound synchronization technology. It is like you're at a concert for the most part. It is super cool stuff. I'm really excited to see the reaction on Friday from all the fans when we debut them to everybody.
So I'm waiting for the email. Yeah, I don't give a damn about lights and food. It's a team worth a damn.
We'll know on Wednesday, So we should get most of our roster Wednesday. Players will be breaking camp tomorrow. start heading this way. Offensively, we're going to have a really, really strong club as usual. But as we all know, pitching in altitude is always a tough thing to do. So we'll have a number of our starting pitchers back from last year. So hopefully, a little more seasoning from last year in this offseason will help them take a step forward as well. But we'll also be having hopefully a lot of their top 10 prospects come through Albuquerque to make a pitch stop before they get to Denver.
Be a big deal. Huh?
Most of those guys are hitters. We have a number of infielders and a few outfielders as well. But some of those prospects are in the top 100 rankings for both MLB.com, Baseball America, and all the top prospect sites. So it should be an exciting year for some of the top prospects in the Rockies organization coming through Albuquerque.
Forrest is in from the Isotopes. It is opening week. It is Friday night out at the ballpark, opening night against El Paso.
So 3-game set to get it going.
Yes, sir.
At home. What's it like to be able to open up at home? Because it has that different vibe. It's one thing you can come back and say, hey, opening the season, but when it is opening day at home.
The true shebang, right? It really is. I mean, opening on the road is kind of a bit anticlimactic, especially for someone like me who's got to, cover that first night on the road. So we've already done this once. But opening at home for the first game of the year, they really begin the entire season off. It's very super special to just kick it off on the right foot and do it in front of our fans here in Albuquerque.
All right, can you share the foods? Like I know it's like you guys get it tomorrow. They're feeding me. So for those of you, they're feeding. Is it tomorrow? Right?
Tomorrow at noon. Yeah.
You guys get lunch tomorrow. But by the same token, you're on the radio today. You're not on Wednesday. So for all the fans who are going out there and you want to entice them with their new food, are you allowed to share it with them?
I'm not allowed to share any of the names right now. I'll tell you this: it's going to be very, very tasty. We have 4 new.
Dude, Chef never disappoints.
4 new food options, a couple of new dessert options as well. And fans are going to be clamoring over one of these desserts especially. So,
is it an ice cream based dessert? What are you looking at? He's over here.
Sugar's involved.
I cannot confirm or deny that
Sugar's
statement.
always involved with dessert. I mean, is it ice cream based?
There is ice cream involved.
Cake, brownies,
No,
sprinkles, peanut butter, granola, watermelon, bourbon.
You're getting colder.
Whatever. All right. So we are, and the other thing is, we're on 6-game homestands. Is that right?
Yep.
Are we still on Monday off? So we're starting off with a 3, and then is that how it works?
Yes, sir. That's right. So the
We don't
first
have that
3
posted.
games.
Where's the schedule?
I'll bring you one later this week. How about that?
Yeah, it's usually
Deal?
like right there.
Yep. I'll bring the station to Fuji so you can post up all around all the
everywhere.
different stations. Exactly. Yeah, everyone knows when we're home. We have 3 games to start the season, and then a 3-game set after the All-Star break. So there's only 2 non-6-game homestands or 6-game away stands throughout the season.
And then where are you going next week?
We go to Oklahoma City. 24 of our first 75 home games are against Oklahoma City, and 21 of those first 75 games are against El Paso.
Did you say 24 of the first 75 are against Oklahoma City?
Yeah. And then 21 are against El Paso. So we have 45 of our first 75 are against those 2 teams.
Why? Is that good for anybody?
Geography. I don't know. I mean, that's the question will be answered in 75 games, I guess.
Remember when way back in the that okay.
We'll see what
How
happens.
many teams are in the league now? Is it 10?
10, yeah.
That's all there is. So there's only so many to play. Yeah.
Well, there's so much you can do.
Yeah.
What do you this is just random.
Yeah.
Off the chart here. Do you think maybe like a crossover week would be interesting for minor league baseball?
With the International League?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would absolutely love it. I think it'd be great for baseball. I think it'd be great for all our fans to see a new team come through, like a new team every year. Exactly, right? We're still flying from here to Tacoma, right?
Yeah.
That's what the 2.5-hour flight.
It's easier to get to Memphis or Louisville.
100%. Yeah.
Why
So maybe
not?
every other year you have a Memphis, a Nashville, an Omaha, or even a Charlotte come
So why
through.
did the 2? Because there was a minute that you were all playing each other, right?
Before the new PDL, we had Memphis, Nashville,
New Orleans.
Omaha, New Orleans, and Iowa, whereas it was in the PCL. And then because of travel partners and geography, they had to keep certain teams together. So Nashville, Memphis had to stay together and go to the IL, And then if Omaha was going to leave or Iowa was going to leave, they had to bring one or the other as well. So that's how that happened with the new PDL in 2020.
Yeah, I think for the hardcore fans, they would like to see that. I mean, I will stand by my contention. I've said this for years. 75 to 85% of the people who are walking up to the ballpark with a ticket in their hand or on their phone don't know against whom the Ice Hopes are playing, don't care. And when they leave, they might not even know who won.
Exactly.
And
that's the beauty of it, right?
Huge beauty of it. Yeah. But I think there's still part of people that want to see somebody different. Or if you've got a Pirates fan, they want to see their team come through. You got a Reds fan, they want whatever. There is, when the Iowa Cubs used to come through, I mean, Cubs fans used to come out like crazy.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, it's probably some of the Dodgers fans, right? Yeah. I mean, because Cubs fans are all across the country, right? And so I think you see that for the Cubs, Red Sox, and the Yankees.
Cubs more than anybody else because we never got Columbus, we never got Pawtucket.
That's
we never
fair,
got any of those through.
Yeah.
But when Iowa would come through, we would get that all the time.
All the snowbirds coming down from Chicago.
So when you're talking with the big dogs at the next meeting, bring that up.
I certainly will.
Yeah, we fixed
I'll bark as loud as I can. So.
Well, it's because you look at minor league baseball, and it's entertainment, it's events.
No, I totally agree with that.
You could sell that week
for sure. The crossover
2-3 game series against different teams.
They did the spring breakout game this year, so maybe they're looking to expand the reach of their marketing tools, right? So
either that or they don't care about minor league baseball. I mean, I hope they do.
Oh, I think they definitely do.
Bribe them with the new ice cream based dessert.
Ooh, I think that might work.
Let them know.
So is it like caramel on there? You already know what you already had it? Like ice cream and like what? Caramel? What flavor ice cream?
You have some options.
Is it so you can choose your ice cream? Is it soft serve or is it scoop?
I feel like I said too much already.
I know.
I feel like you haven't said anything.
There's going to be a brand new.
And that's the beauty of media, isn't it?
No, I feel like you're
a lot of talking.
All I've heard you say is San Diego State got lucky by getting the final game last year, and lucky to get back to the Final Four. Go talk to your guy Sushan, see how that works out with you.
Can't wait to see him this morning.
Yeah, I'm going to text him too.
Is this recorded?
Yeah, promise it is. All right. Opening day, how do you get tickets? Because I think opening day is a holiday, and the beauty is it's Friday. Sometimes on a Tuesday, right? In the past, it's been on a Tuesday.
My first 2 years.
You get a Friday night opening day. It's going to be freaking gorgeous. You can get out there by getting your tickets.
ABQIsotopes.com or stop by the box office at isotopespark.com or Isotopes Park. We're open from 10 to 5 on non-game days, and game days 10 till the end of the game. So stop on by and let's pack the park this weekend, everybody.
Gus says, I'm more interested in how Albuquerque's baseball team is going to defend, Jeff, than I am about lights at the gym. All right, how are they going to defend?
With their gloves.
I mean, last year we were one of the best teams in all of AAA.
There you go.
With our gloves, we had some of the fewest errors. In the second half especially, we had the fewest errors across all of AAA as well. So up the middle will be very strong, and the outfield will be very, very strong as well.
Line up in their position.
You got one more in you? I mean, you could be like us. You could take the vitriol.
when the ball is hit, they're going to field it.
Yeah, and then they're going to
grab it and throw it.
All right, Bill says, I hate this schedule, Jeff. One thing Divider Soccer does right is keeping the schedule fresh. I wish mediocrity, that's what he calls your team, would do the same. Well, I mean, they haven't raised a flag in 20-something.
Yeah, 13 years. Yeah, I'll give them that.
6 games in a row is too much to see one club. And what happened to playing the Junior Cubbies, Memphis? We love playing the Chihuahuas, but do we really need to see them 50 times? How about a home with Ken Young's other club, even if we have to play at their gym first? Are we fixing this?
That'd be fun.
That's from Bill.
I think he's got a great point. I mean, I think variety is the spice of life, right? And so
that's why we get new desserts.
Yeah. But what is it?
It's an ice cream based dessert. All right, get out of here. I know you got to go down the hall in like 3 minutes. We'll see you soon. So we're going to do this on a regular basis.
Oh, yes, sir. We'll be coming around a lot. We'll be having, some folks on throughout the entire year. So we might be able to get Chef on later this week if possible.
That'd be beautiful. All right. Ear flap hats on Friday, first 3,000 fans. Opening nights. It's a cool looking hat, like a red plaid Isotopes hat with ear flaps.
Elmer Fudd style for those older folks out there.
Kind of like that.
Or Christmas vacation style, all right?
Black and teal jerseys. Is that what I'm looking at on Saturday? Isotopes jerseys?
Isotopes hoodies, jersey hoodies.
Oh, shut up. They're hoodies.
Yep.
Yeah, adult jersey hoodies.
Very comfortable and warm.
I'm getting in line.
Yep. All right, get there early. And then pregame Easter hunt on the field and magnet schedules on Sunday, all against the Chihuahuas.
Is there a little extra treat for the outfilders then?
Say that again?
The outfielders on Sunday might find a couple.
You never know, right? the golden ticket,
All right, Forrest, appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all very much. We'll see y'all soon.
It's opening day. It is Friday. You'll hear them all here on The Sports Animal with the voice of the Isotopes, Josh Sushan. Get your tickets, abqisotopes.com. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
or surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like
5.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Kind of cool baseball season's here. Opening day, big leagues this week. Well, it kind of already was opening day with the Dodgers and the Padres in Korea, but it doesn't really feel like that was opening day because then we went back to spring training, but now it's really opening day. Opening drive on opening day. Opening drive on opening day will open your life. It's Jeff, JJ, and DC. Shohei Ohtani is going to be made available, JJ, to the media. I don't know what this is going to look like. And I'm not sure I think this is going to go well. I'm trying to keep the Ohtani thing somewhat in perspective. And I want to give it benefit of the doubt, but super skeptically. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
It's hard for me to think Shohei Ohtani had nothing to do with anything and never bet. He's going to be asked, did you bet on baseball? Was your guy placing bets for you, right? It was your account that paid off $4.5 million. There's part of me, and I always, you know me pretty well. I always try to put myself in somebody else's shoes and how does this go? If I was in Japan playing baseball and using an interpreter, could this feasibly happen? Could my interpreter have somehow hacked my account and got in trouble? And yes, there's a language barrier. There's a culture barrier. I don't think there's any barrier that says, dude, you cannot bet on baseball. But I do think it's possible where his interpreter got in way too deep and took advantage of it. Now, I also think it's possible, I don't know Shohei Ohtani at all. Could he have been betting on baseball? Sure, he could have. But I want to hear what he's got to say. I'm not sure how I think this goes well today, though, with a new interpreter and with the language barrier. What do you expect today?
This is this is Shohei Ohtani's decision, not the Dodgers' decision.
Mm-hmm.
So he's making himself available.
Yes.
And so he's making a statement. He's not answering yes or no to any of those questions.
So is that what making himself available means? I'm just going to read a statement and I'm going to scram?
You can't do a yes or no answers when there's so much legal stuff on the table. There's a federal investigation.
Then how come they didn't say he's going to come out and make a statement as opposed to, and then why not just deliver the statement and send it out?
And just say no to questions.
I can't talk about that.
But honestly, you shouldn't expect anyone to answer questions when there's a federal investigation going on.
Then they should say he's just going to issue a statement. Because to me, there's the semantics here do matter.
No one would allow that. What lawyers would be like, go answer a bunch of yes or no questions.
Dave Roberts is the manager of the Dodgers, and he said it's good that Ohtani's going to address the matter. Quote, it's the right thing to do. I'm happy he's going to speak to what he knows and give his thoughts on the whole situation. I think it'll give us all a little bit more clarity. That was his quote. What's he going to say to the media that he didn't say to the team already?
The only way I see this happening is they double down on this story that they have to go with to protect Shohei.
You guys, which story are we on?
That he was robbed.
The third story. Yeah. Not the first one, not the second, but the third one.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm just telling you, there's no way this ends well. This is the biggest name in the sport. They finally found themselves now, not an American superstar, but a guy that had people going over to baseball. Watching this guy who and how many, what have we ever talked? Do we talk about baseball? Now we're talking about baseball. Okay, because we got a guy in a betting scandal. Oh my goodness, it's that dude. We got a guy who came out of nowhere, Japan, who is doing something that you only see done in Little League, pitch and hit at elite levels, who is the MVP, who just signed a $700 million deal. Say that again. $700 million. So $4.5 million is whatever. And all of a sudden, this guy's embroiled in a betting scandal? And is it a scandal yet? I don't know what it is. You tell me what you think it is. But something's not right. And when you got to change your story twice, when it goes from, yeah, my guy just covered my bet to, yeah, I stole from him. Because what did Chris Carter say, JJ?
Have yourself a fall guy.
Everybody got to have a fall guy. And it ain't going to be Shohei Ohtani. Is there any way there's no suspension here?
Like I don't know how unless the Major League Baseball goes, oh yeah, we believe you, Shohei. This dude stole your information, yada, yada, yada.
You're a victim.
But that's going to be really hard to pass that through when I don't think you can just Venmo $4.5 million.
I don't even know.
So, you might need a little bit more to move that kind of money.
Yeah, I don't even know how you get that money over.
Well, that's how they found it, is they were able to uncover the wire transfer.
Well, because it was $4.5 million. Flag.
Yeah, to a bookmaker. I mean, it was obvious.
Okay, and here's the other thing. Sports betting is not legal in the state of California, where this bookmakers set up shop, where Shohei Ohtani lives and works. So I don't know how big of a crime is it. Is it a misdemeanor? I don't even know. Illegal betting. But I'm going to guess at $4.5 million, it goes past the dude who just did a $100 parlay. And by the way, if $4.5 million, do you want me to believe this was the only time? You get $4.5 million deep, man. And by the way, because there's a lot of by the ways in here. Here's why I don't think he was betting baseball. Because he lost $4.5 million. Like if he had inside betting on it, how would he would have won, right? No?
Because then was Shohei throwing game. Not as a pitcher, but literally.
That's why I'm saying I don't think he bet on baseball.
Because you can be in it and you still lose your backside off unless you are trying to change outcomes yourself.
Yeah, he lost his backside.
Because you could be, I wouldn't expect Greg Popovich to be the best NBA bettor ever.
Fair. All right, fair enough. I just don't know how this ends well.
It doesn't feel like there's a positive outcome for Shohei in this. And then a lot of people are bringing up too is, was Shohei involved to the point that the bookmaker knew that
this was his dude?
So that's what they're trying to say. It's like everyone knows who this guy is. So because everyone's saying, well, if Shohei wasn't betting, how could you let a guy get $4.5 million?
Right. Nobody gets.
Well, because you know who his best friend.
You know who was backing him. Yeah. No, you and I can't get in there and get $4.5 million of credit. You and I get $4.5 million deep. They're snapping our legs and hurting our family, right? No, honestly, I hate that story. But tell me how they let you get $4.5 million deep on credit. If you go bet online right now, you have to load your account with the money that you would potentially lose. You put in $1,000 and you want to bet $2, you don't get $2 on credit. You have to put in another $1,000, right? Isn't that how it works? But somehow they let this dude go $4.5 million deep on credit, but not knowing who was back. Of course, they knew who was backing him.
Yeah, they knew his co-signer.
That's where Shohei's in trouble here. Is because at some point there had to be a sign-off for him going, yeah, I got you. There's just no way they let a dude get $4.5 million deep, let alone $1 million, let alone $100,000. They don't play, man. That's why I just don't know how this ends well. I'm interested to see what Shohei has to say today and if he will take any questions. You saying there's no way he takes questions?
There shouldn't be. If there's an investigation going on and potentially you're involved, whether it was stolen money or not from your account, you can't answer yes or no questions.
Yeah, I don't know what you can say.
I think your statement, and I think they're probably just double down on trying to have the interpreter take the fall.
So the bookmaker, a guy out of Orange County, was under federal investigation. The LA Times reporting that the investigation, the matter, that's what caused him to get there. He was already under investigation, and then this came. I know we got to take this break. We're super late. 505-246-0610. I want to get in on this more. We got I got a ton of emails on both the Isotopes opening up and the NCAA tournament. If you got your thoughts on the tournament, look, Global Basketball, we're still there for you as well. 505-246-0610. Come on in. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Juicy Juice.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Drive, Jeff, JJ, and Duke C. 505-246-0610. Having a conversation about Shohei Ohtani and how this ends. Well, Speech, I know you want to get in on that. Speech, good morning. How you living?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
I want to get your opinion on my comment. I just think with all these allegations, you have to suspend Ohtani right now. You can't let him play any more games. And I mean, Pete Rose is appealing his lifetime ban. If you let this go, what are you saying about the Black Sox scandal? And if he was just associated, what are you saying to Shoeless Joe Jackson?
So you're saying you're convinced he had something to do with the gambling, or does it matter to you?
Well, I'm not so much. I don't know that he directly had something to do with it, but there's enough that he was associated. You got to at least suspend him and dig into it now. I mean, I don't know. You said a preference with the Black Sox scandal and Joe Jackson and Pete Rose. I mean, this is a huge mess. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers just say, you know, this is too big. We got to cancel the contract here.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I wonder if that is. All right, Speech, no, that's good stuff. I appreciate you, and it's great to hear you. So he's saying the allegations are there. It's huge. It's bad for the game. You've made this the hill to die on. Baseball has said this is the one you can well, unless you're Trevor Bauer. You can beat your wife, you can do whatever, but you cannot gamble on the game. And while there is no proof that he gambled on the game, what Speech is saying is there's an appearance that you may have. Yeah, no, yes. But there's an appearance that you may have gambled on the game, and the integrity of our game is in jeopardy, and we have got to get rid of you, no matter if you are the biggest international superstar we have seen in this game since, right? I mean, baseball is in a spot right now. He's saying flat out, you got to suspend this guy until you find out what happened.
I understand that.
There might be something to that. When they start opening up the accounts and seeing the transactions, it could get
if there's transactions, but what if there's just one? If this is the only one where he bailed his buddy out, what if the story's right? What if he bailed his buddy out? The initial story is, dude, I just bailed my buddy.
Well, I think it comes. What was his buddy betting on?
Yes.
That plays a big role.
It's betting on
into
the
it.
Lakers and Pacers and the Bulls and Pistons and
If it
International and New Mexico United
Yeah.
Charleston Battery. Do people bet on that?
you can, you can bet on anything, anything.
Yes, you can.
If it crosses into baseball, that changes the conversation. But Major League Baseball, Los Angeles Dodgers, they're going to hold out as long as humanly possible. They're not canceling Shohei Ohtani unless there's a piece of paper that like, well, can't deny any of this anymore.
I'm interested to hear what he has to say today. Shohei is going to speak today. Coaching stuff. So you're recruiting players. You're talking about the Mountain West, and you're talking about the Lobos and who can they keep. There's coaching stuff. And does OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., have a new job? It's the opening drive. 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond.
All right, so we're all about the tournament. You can get in on Lobo basketball on Friday, where they bowed out of the NCAA tournament 77-56 to Clemson in the first round. We can get through the Mountain West stuff. There's coaching rumors all throughout the Mountain West. So we're here for you at 505-246-0610. A couple of things that are happening this morning. The Miami Dolphins, evidently, have made a contract offer to Odell Beckham Jr. He was in Miami last week. He left without signing the contract. Mike McDaniel's the coach for the Dolphins. Talks will be ongoing. Good sign for them if they get him?
No.
You don't like this?
Odell Beckham Jr. is not going to do anything else in the NFL. He can be a veteran presence. That's a two-person pass game. It's Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and no one else catches passes.
I'm not sure I disagree with you. I mean, I don't know what Odell has left. He was fantastic when he was healthy and in his prime. I'm not sure I know what he's got left. And it's been like it was the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. He hurt himself when he was playing for the Rams. I think I agree with you. All right, other NFL stuff. Jim Harbaugh is the coach of the Chargers. Says J.J. McCarthy is the best quarterback in the NFL draft. Stretching it, or do you buy it? Selling his dude?
Selling his dude.
He said he had a good pro day. I haven't seen it, but yeah, it sounds like he's selling because he's been selling this one for a while.
Quote, I think he plays quarterback the best of any quarterback in the draft. He's incredible. So big market, small market, cold weather, hot weather, it won't matter, end quote. Okay. I'm not sold on J.J. McCarthy. I appreciate Jim Harbaugh. How come they didn't throw the ball more? Jeff, they won. Yeah, they did. No, they did. They absolutely did. They didn't need to. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe the answer is we just didn't need to. Right? But we'll see. I'm convinced Caleb Williams will be number one. I don't see it going any other way. And then there's this. Deion Sanders says, I will go Archie Manning, Eli Manning, if I need to, for my son's draft stock. What does that mean? Deion said that his son, quarterback Shedeur Sanders, and two-way star Travis Hunter are going to decide where they go. He'll have a big say in where they go in the draft. Quote, I know where I want them to go. So it's certain cities that ain't going to happen. It's going to be an Eli, end quote. But Eli is a reference, obviously, to Eli Manning, who was selected first overall by the Chargers, said he wouldn't play there, and was traded to the Giants in that Phillip Rivers trade. Deion said he already doesn't want his son going nowhere cold, is what he said. I don't want him going nowhere cold.
He's got him in Boulder.
He's in Boulder, dude. Isn't Boulder cold?
He doesn't want him to go to the playoffs, apparently.
Yeah. I don't want him. And he said that there's certain cities that fit. San Francisco, Dallas, Washington, Baltimore possible. Isn't Washington, Baltimore cold? What's he saying, man? Quote, Deion, there were certain cities that fit for me. Atlanta fit. I want that for my kids, all of them. I want the right fit. Atlanta was the first time I saw black people in positions of authority. It blew my mind. It was real in Atlanta. I never seen anything like that in my life, end quote. Okay. Beware when you draft. We'll see. I mean, Shedeur going to get drafted and not play if he gets drafted by Green Bay? Or is there anywhere else you got to play that's cold? New England, I guess, that they don't have domes? Howard, good morning. You're on the Sports Channel. Hi, Howard.
Good morning, gentlemen. You know, Odell Beckham Jr. will forever go down in history in my mind as a one-handed catch in the end zone against my Cowboys.
No doubt. One of the greatest catches ever.
But I think anymore he's gotten to the point of irrelevancy other than maybe he's the latest Kardashian sister conquest. I don't know. I know so little about it that I don't even know which sister it is. But I do know he's with one of the Kardashians.
I didn't even know that.
You know, the Shohei Ohtani thing, man, that is like a punch in the gut because we're staring in the face of possibly not being able to witness the greatest player to ever come to the game of baseball. And I think that's a reality, you know, based until they unearth exactly what's going on here. I think we're still, we're possibly looking at he may never play baseball again.
I think there's a real.
Go ahead.
I that may be a stretch, but I don't think it's completely out of the realm. I agree with you.
Yeah, and if that isn't a punch in the gut to get robbed of that kind of talent that comes only once in a lifetime, not even a generational talent, once in a lifetime, good God, who knows? But I hope that his naivety that he seems to have is true all the way down to this. I just don't see how he could not know. But I guess it'll all be revealed to us soon.
Promise
Thanks,
it
guys.
will. All right, see you. Howard called at 505-246-0610. Odell, one of the best catches ever, right? I mean, if you're looking for a highlight, it's hard to pass that one up. But we'll see. All right, 505-246-0610. That's where Howard called. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Tellus is in. Series finale of, no, I'm not going to go. I don't want to do that. James wants to talk about the women. I kind of want to talk about women's basketball a little bit too. Kim Mulkey, the LSU coach, who came out in a press conference the other day and lambasted the Washington Post for a story that's not out yet. And said that's why people don't trust the media. And I don't know what's in that damn story, but now I want to read it. Don't you? I don't know that. I know she thought she was on a preemptive strike, and I know you're supposed to have a big feeling on Kim Mulkey. I lean towards liking her because I think she's fiery. I think she's been great for women's basketball. She's obviously been successful, and she's a woman that really accelerated herself in a world where there weren't a lot of women at the top. So I have deep respect for that. I'm not sure I know what to make of what she's saying until I read what she's talking about, but she sure as hell brought a whole lot of attention to a Washington Post story that she came out that is going to be a hatchet piece. She thought she was doing a preemptive strike. And evidently the Washington Post is doing a story on her that they've been investigating, and she didn't like where it's going. And so she came out and basically took 2.5 minutes of her press conference the other day and went off on that.
I think what you're going to find is Kim Mulkey is like a lot of coaches out there where there's stories on both sides. There's some players were on her right side and love her, and I'm sure there's some players that got on the wrong side and things that were said and went down because I find that a lot of places.
Yeah, I don't think that's any different than many other stories. You know, somebody, a player or players felt that they were mistreated, spoken to poorly, abused will be the word.
And that's out there, and I think that is actually something that has been overlooked in women's basketball a lot.
Is what?
Treatment of players. Like stuff that's going on at Nebraska. There's a scandal involving their head coach and an assistant coach.
What is it?
Trying to, with actually UNLV player Ashley Scoggins and setting her up and throwing her under the bus with an alleged relationship with the coach. And then, like, it's a actual legal case that's going on, and that coach gets a contract extension. So I think bringing light to stories in women's basketball is a positive thing, but it's yet to be determined what this is about. Is it just some hurt feelings, or is there something more?
Yeah, I always go back to these. I want to know, can you yell at a player anymore?
Yes.
You're not allowed to put like your hand on a player's shoulder anymore, right?
No. It's all with intent.
You can't move. Well, is it all with intent?
Yeah.
I wonder sometimes, because I think it's more in interpretation than intent.
Can't go Bob Knight on someone.
Well, I think we're past that. Yeah, I think I got that. I mean, we were all coached. We were yelled at, right? Mm-hmm. Can you yell at players? You raise your voice. Can you use language?
Coaches still yell.
Can you use language? Right? Can you drop F-bombs regularly? I mean, we've all been to practices, man. They're used regularly in many places. Not all, but in many. Right, James wants to talk about the Lady Lobos. Says, Jeff, Lady fans are fit to be tied. Like every other fan base, they want to win, but they also want to get to know the girls. If they have their dithers, that roster would be full of girls who went to high school in the Albuquerque Northeast Heights. In lieu of that, they want girls that are here for 4 years wear those girls' uniforms to the games. If you tell that fan base the roster is year to year with a bunch of mercenaries every season, they're quickly losing interest. Well, James, I mean, that's just the way it is. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I think that's what they're telling you everywhere. That's just, yes. Let me ask you this. Would you be satisfied if it was, in your words, a bunch of girls who went to high school in the Northeast Heights that were there for 4 years that was losing? Would you be okay with that?
That's the same argument. Goes back to it
I know,
over and over.
I know. I'm just reading it. I just came in.
I know. You're just reading. I'm not mad
this
at
morning.
you. I'm not telling. If fans are upset about it, be upset. But college has changed, and it's going to be a small percentage of players that are somewhere for 4 years, and there's no turning back.
And James, if you're saying they're quickly losing interest, I don't know that I disagree with you. I'm just telling you that's the way it's going to be. You're not going back on it. So if Lobo fans, in your words, are fit to be tied, I've said this to you a million times. I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan, but I am going to suggest if you continue to be a fan of college athletics, you're going to have to accept the new age and the transfer portal and getting to know new players all the time. It's just, this one's not going backwards. Robert, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Robert.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm calling I'm a frustrated Lobo fan. Sometimes just don't understand if it's the basketball gods or the committee or what has it out for us or for other teams. Let's say, like for example, we beat San Diego State 2 out of 3 times, but they seem to get the good draw and make their way through the tournament, pretty good. And same thing with Gonzaga. You got a team like Gonzaga who, at one point, people were saying they're not even in the tournament. St. Mary's beats them 2 out of 3 times, I believe, in the season. And for some reason, Gonzaga still gets in there high. And then Gonzaga and SDSU, they prove the committee right. They end up winning, and they get those draws, and they advance. And poor Lobo fan or Nevada fan or even Boise State fan, Boise State beat, I think swept San Diego State too. For some reason, they just can't advance, and it's kind of frustrating where you get teams like that who just seem to win every year, and then every year it seems like we can play with them for through the season, but then in the tournament they always advance and prove us wrong. I don't know if it's the basketball gods or what, but it's
a couple of things. It's a couple of things, Robert. Let me give you a few things. So San Diego State non-conference went to BYU, went to Grand Canyon, went to Gonzaga. They lost at BYU and Grand Canyon, won at Gonzaga. They're going out. It's a body of work, and I think that's something that we lose in this. It's not just you beat them 2 out of 3, but they didn't lose to Air Force at home. You did, right? And that all went into the season.
Yeah, but it's not so much San Diego State. It's also even Gonzaga. I mean, they played out of conference, a lot of tough teams, but then they lost a lot of those. And then so they played their way back in, and they still get rewarded. And then the frustrating thing is they still end up winning. It's the funniest thing, It's like they get the benefit out, and then they prove themselves right. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and thanks for the call. So yeah, they lost a lot of those games, and they won some of them too, right? I mean, they non-conference.
Well, Gonzaga ended the season
on a run,
7-7 in quad 1 and quad 2. The Lobos ended the season 8-7, but they also had a quad 3 loss and a quad 4 loss that Gonzaga didn't have.
Yeah. I mean, Gonzaga went out, they played. And they lost. They lost to
Washington. And they're showing you that in this year's committee, and these things can always change. So that's where you don't have coaches get frustrated. We don't know what we have to do. You know what you have to do. You have to play some people in your non-conference schedule. Whether you win or lose, that number can't be 250 non-conference schedule.
And that's what New Mexico's was down in that area, non-conference, out of conference schedule. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. It's opening night for the Gladiators. We're going to do that coming up at 9:30. I've got a bunch of correspondence from you on the Lobos and the tournament. We'll do that next, and I want to hear from you. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. You're home for March Madness from the first 4 to the Final 4.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls.
Sports Animal.
Text line's hitting. Hey, JJ, can't wait to see the Lobos play Nevada in the Sweet 16. Everyone is now dumber after this season. We all make picks, man. I'm saying dumb.
Dude, we were talking about like pipe dreams. Like ahead, I wasn't guaranteeing that.
No doubt, it would have been something, right? I mean, that would have been something. This was
like so. When you go to the tournament, you can ask questions. What second round matchup would you like to see? What Sweet 16 matchup would you like to see? And there was a potential that Nevada and New Mexico could have met in the Sweet 16. Did it happen? Not at all.
Hardly. My grandson just won the largest European wrestling tournament for youth. He wrestles 12U. Took gold in freestyle and Greco wrestling, which winning in one discipline is hard enough. A local kid born in Albuquerque. Congratulations. That's actually really, really, really cool. Sean, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Sean.
Hey, good morning, guys. I was having some retrospective after the game. I remember a couple weeks back, there was a big uproar about losing to Air Force. And I was one of the, Aggie fans that called in, and I said, you know what, hang in there. We lost to Chicago State back in the day. You can go on a run. You can make it to the tourney. And, as a football school, I was thinking back earlier on the season, and I remember that there was a lot of, Lobo fans calling in after the Aggies kind of fell apart later in the season of the football season, laughing at them and stuff like that. And I remember after the Air Force game, I was like, well, Aggie fans, you don't get to laugh at the Lobos because they swept you. Well, looking back further, I remember when Lobo fans were laughing when, NMSU lost to Arkansas. So what I'm getting at is that taking the high road is temporary, but being a hater is forever. And I loved watching them lose to Clemson. The Mountain West Conference is overrated as usual. The greatest thing to happen in the pit was a game in 1983 that they weren't even involved in. Have a wonderful day.
Hey, we're back, right? See, all the unity has gone away. All the good vibes have gone away. It was a 3-day thing, basically. Hello, Rudy. You're on the Sports Animal. Let me do that again. Hello, Rudy. That not up anymore? Looks like it's on to me. No. All right, Rudy, call me back. How about now? No, check. All right. Aggie fan. My favorite line in there was, as a football school. He said.
As a football school.
It was my favorite line of the whole thing. All right, good morning, says the text line. The one thing Nunez needs to do. Oh, here we go. You ready, JJ? What do you think the one thing Nunez needs to do? Have you looked at this yet?
Wait. Not a lot of teams practice.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, don't practice preseason. The one thing Nunez needs to do is open the wallet and pay Patino more and extend his contract. We lost the NCAA, but got there, and Patino has this place rocking. Lobo faithful believing. All good things go Lobos. Woof, woof, woof. Oh, that'll go over like a ton of lead. Pay him more. Extend him. That's what... is this signed Richard Patino's agent or brother? There's no signature on there. All right, let me try this again. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Rudy.
What's going on?
What's happening?
Oh, just ruminating over the weekend. I did well on my picks. I was 23-9 in the first round and 13-3 in the second round.
Attaboy.
That included picking New Mexico. Yeah, I missed on San Diego State, Marquette, and New Mexico in the Sweet 16. So I guess I should have gone to the casino.
Yeah, it would have been healthy for you.
Yeah. So, it was one of those games. We needed to hit shots and hit some shots that we hadn't hit all year, and or difficult shots, I guess I should say, And you saw the whole tournament, guys making ridiculous shots. So we didn't do it, and that sends you home.
Yep, and that's where you are.
Clemson Clemson comes out. I said before the game, which Clemson team's going to show up? The one that beat North Carolina or the one that got punked by Boston College?
Easy answer now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's Monday morning quarterbacking. But, a great season and something to build on. And does anybody like the new system? I don't think so, unless you're a hedge fund guy and you've got millions of dollars to give to your alma mater. Then you're pretty happy.
Yes. If you win. I mean, only if you win. Give all that money away and you lose, you're not happy.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a lot of losing. Money doesn't buy a victory. Money never really bought a victory. Money buys you an opportunity, and that's about it.
Money can't buy you love. Nope, you're right. All right, man.
But it was a great weekend, a lot of basketball, and watched basketball till my eyes fell out. So now a week of no basketball, which is going to be tough.
Yeah, you get the Aztecs on Thursday. You can go root for them. I'll get you a sweatshirt if you want it.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, see you. All right, 505-246-0610. When we come back, it's opening night tonight, Monday Night Football. Gladiators in San Diego out at the Rio Rancho Event Center. Their co-head coach, Fred Griggs, is going to be with us. We'll talk about the team, who they are, how you get out there, and what you need to know about the new season as they kick off tonight. Happens way too much. Business owners go home. They get a call in the middle of the night, or they show up in the morning and they've been broken into. Takes a long time to recover. Do not let it happen to you. International Protective Service, IPS, is a security company that provides highly trained armed guards. They watch your business when you can't be there. If you don't want full-time guards, they'll patrol your business and keep the bad guys away. And if your alarm goes off, IPS responds with an armed officer within 5 to 7 minutes. Police may take hours to show up, and it's way too late. Look, the bad guys don't care about the business that you've built. They just want to steal something to pay for their next drug deal. IPS cares about business owners. Put IPS to work so your business is not an easy target. Their job is to stop break-ins before they happen. IPS also protects homes like mine, so you're always protected. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep,
Hey, Buck. Monday Night Football tonight opens up the brand new season. Your Duke City Gladiators are out at the Rio Rancho Event Center. San Diego Strike Force will be in town a quick week. They play Monday, and then Friday they'll be in Frisco to play their first road game of the season. But a exciting schedule, and this is always fun. Opening night is always fun, and what they've been doing out there is giving you pretty good entertainment and a good football team for the last bunch of years. Their co-head coach is Fred Griggs, and he joins us this morning on the Sports Animal. Hello, Fred. How you living?
How you doing, Jeff? I'm doing good, my brother.
You ready for opening night?
Oh yeah. We feeling pretty good tonight.
So you guys go through camp, you're hitting each other, and coming off a season where you did not make the playoffs, which is not like this franchise. What's different this year? What have you added?
First off, just the culture. I mean, adding Coach Dominic Bramante back as my co-head coach, who was actually at one time my head coach. He's been a great help. Adding Landrick Brody, Donovan Portery, Sherman Carter, all guys who were part of those championship teams, helping reestablish the culture and bringing in a fresh new batch of guys to experience that culture. It's been a great combination of the two things, and it's been a refreshing camp.
It's kind of back to the future. Fred, you were on the defensive side. You played on the championship teams at Tingley Coliseum when Dominic Bramante was the head coach, and then to bring it back, but with new guys. Talk about having Coach B back and what that's done for you keep saying culture. What has that meant for the culture bringing him back?
Just having a guy that has been there before as a head coach, and just having that backing as a staff with all the guys, Brody, Sherm, Donovan as well. It's so much more fulfilling to those guys to actually hear those testaments and see what actually sticking true to the plan can do for not only your on the field life, but your off the field life, and just having those walking testaments around these guys every day is just made the culture tremendously better.
When you look at the indoor football league, and you have a lot of players still, chasing their dreams of playing professional sports, of being in the IFL, and you talk about life on and off the field. What's it like, trying to bring guys together in a business that it can be year to year, and there's so much change about trying to get guys at this point in their lives and careers on the same page for one goal?
It's all about just being a better man at this point. I mean, you're not in the NFL. The chances of it is pretty low. So you just got to be super goal oriented in what we come together to do, and that's play good football and win a championship, and just trying to stay goal oriented each day and making sure that you're positive in those situations when you're trying to accomplish those goals is just a strategy that you can take into your everyday life and make you a better man all around. So it's been a great camp, as I say again.
Look at this opportunity too, and it's unique and a chance to play in a Monday Night Football game to get this season going. What do you think of the vibe and just being able to kind of bill it as a Monday night game to get you guys going?
It's super cool. Everybody grew up watching Monday Night Football on the NFL, and to be able to kick off on a Monday night, to be the only game in the league playing with everybody in the league watching, it will be the only game on. It's pretty exciting, and it's time for the guys, to put all their hard work to the test, and finally get their withdrawal from all the deposits they've been putting in camp.
He's Fred Griggs, co-head coach of the Gladiators. They open up the season tonight out at Rio Rancho Event Center against San Diego. And Dominic Bramante is back, a name that some people know. You also bring back some local flavor, right? Landrick Brody, Donovan Portery, the former Lobo quarterback. Bringing in local guys, does that help at all as far as when you go out in the community and try to drum up support for this team and having guys who are really vested in this community? I got to believe that helps a lot.
Oh, definitely. Just being grand ambassadors to the city, showing the guys where they can hang out at, and exposing these guys to the finer parts of Albuquerque and Rio Rancho has been definitely a blessing to have these guys around, and definitely took a lot of weight off of my shoulders. As it's not easy to accommodate 40 guys when they come into a new city.
Yeah, I promise you, there's people listening right now going, wait, Gladiators. Okay, this is indoor football. It's the top league in the country in indoor football, and you play out at the Rio Rancho Event Center. And if you haven't been there, you'll go out one time and go, okay, I want to go back. For people who've not been there, and there are some of those, what are they going to see? Why should they get out there tonight?
I mean, arena football, indoor football, especially our brand, some of the most exciting football you can watch. It's half the distance of a real football field, but twice the scoring, twice the excitement. The receivers get a head start. It's DJs playing music. We have bouncy houses around half the time for the kids. It's a grand event for the family, and it's definitely an exciting thing to see.
What kind of team you got, Fred?
We got a very focused team right now. We got guys that really came in willing to work and just, put in the effort and trust the process and trust the training. And it's very similar to some of the successful teams that we had in the past as far as the foundation and how we're starting it. So it's pretty promising right now.
All right, 6:05 is the start. They'll play against San Diego tonight, then a quick turnaround on Friday. Man, you got to get your bodies healthy. Turn around in like 2 days, you're going to be on the road to Frisco. So it's a big first week. I know it's important to get started quickly.
Definitely. Lucky for us, this quick turnaround, if it had to happen, it's best thing for it to happen in the beginning of the season when you got the guys still fresh and itching off of camp, and you can play your mind and see it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal that you can get 2 games in 1 week, and that's kind of what you work so hard in camp for. So it's better that we do it now than halfway through the season or towards the end of the season when it's a little bit more monotonous and kind of harder on the body at that point. So we're kind of optimistic as we can be about the situation. So I'm definitely excited about the turnaround.
Tickets available. It's DukeCityGladiators.com. Get out there tonight. 6:05 start. Have fun with this because I think you're going to really like this team. And I know front office has put a lot into it in the offseason. And it's fun. It's exciting. And it's Monday Night Football. It's a season opener. Fred, good to talk. You always is. Good luck tonight and the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you, my brother.
All right, be well. He is Fred Griggs, the co-head coach of the Gladiators. You and I both been out there. Have you been out there yet? This is right in your hood.
No, I have not seen one of their games, and I actually plan to. I have met a few people that have played for the team, and there's a lot of excitement for this. So,
what are you and DeCito doing tonight? There might be a ticket floating around this place.
Wow, that's interesting. We might be watching some football.
Seriously, Monday Night Football, 6:05 start right down the street.
Yes. Dude, you got me all psyched up.
See?
Yeah, that sounds great.
It might not be spring training, but you and DeCito go out, get a little Monday Night Football going. The San Diego Strike Force in time. There's nothing better than the San Diego Strike Force than the New Mexico Gladiators. They got a great logo.
Anytime you get a chance to beat San Diego, you got to take it.
See what he's saying? You beat the Aztecs 2 out of 3, so you own them. So now, if you can go
That's
get
right.
the Strike Force.
Scoreboard.
Yep, you own San Diego State. Yeah. How about your boy Forrest in here talking about how lucky they are?
I thank you, Forrest. Thank you for that one.
Why?
Because that one's going to live forever.
Yeah. 2 straight. Go to the national championship game.
Furman to get to the Sweet 16. Yale.
Right. You playing Cibola next? I know.
Careful now, man.
Well, I'm just saying.
Cibola under the bus.
You're right. Yeah, they would have whooped them.
Cougs.
They got good gear too. I'm looking at their gear. I do like their logo. Don't you? You don't have to.
Gladiators?
Yeah. I actually really do. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Your emails are coming in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Let me give you this one because I gotta find it again. Carl says, let me pick your brain, Jeffers. Steve Alford used to say Louisville basketball was tired and beat up when they got to the field of 64 because the Mountain West Conference tournament was so tough and draining. Do you buy that is why the Mountain West Conference fizzled again? I do not. Everybody played a conference tournament, man. Let me ask you this. NC State went through 5 games in 5 nights. How are they feeling? Just asking.
They're feeling great.
Did Houston win their conference tournament? And I honestly remember.
They lost that.
They
Iowa
lost
State in the championship.
In the final. But Iowa State won, and they're still playing, right? Mm-hmm. Illinois won theirs. Are they still playing?
Yep.
UConn won theirs. Are they still playing?
Yep.
I'm just asking. Arizona played till the second to last day. They didn't get to the final. No, I don't. Fred, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Fred.
Hey, I wanted to bring up kind of what you were just talking about. The Big Ten had 6 teams, and now they have 2 left. The Big 12 had 9 teams. Now they have 2 left. Of course, the Mountain West had 6. Now we're down to 1. The SEC had 7,
6,
and I think they're
2.
down to 2 now. Yeah. So it's not just us that are losing. That actually Clemson played in the ACC. They're one of the teams that aren't losing. They're winning, and that might tell you something. About how good Clemson might be because they still have 4 teams left, and they only had 4 4 or 5,
Yeah, the
something like that.
ACC's nice.
So,
Yeah, the ACC's been nice, and the Big East has been really nice.
yeah, but I'm really happy what the Lobos did, though, just doing what they did. I know we didn't play good and stuff, but it seemed like we advanced every year with Patino. We've done something a little better each year. Now we won the Mountain West Conference. We did something no one's ever done, won 4 straight. So I'm happy this year. I'm just worried about next year, and I hope that everybody helps contribute a little money, because it's going to take money to ball it. I hate to say that, but to get more players and stuff. So, but I was happy this year where we went. We increased each year and done something better. So that's all I have, guys.
Right on, Fred. Appreciate
Talk to you later.
Yeah. Look, I think it's a cerebral way to look at it. Got better this year. Didn't take the biggest step. I think you took the step you want to take. You want to get to the NCAA tournament. You did. Now take the next step. And I'm not expecting patience, but it's an interesting way to look at it. Look, however you look at it is how you look at it. But, I mean, where you been the last 10 years? Not here, right?
Not in the NCAA tournament.
Not here.
Not cutting down nets.
Now, it wasn't fun getting run out of the building like that. I get it.
Cutting down nets was fun.
But it sure was.
Las Vegas was fun.
It sure was. You always got that. All right, we'll wrap you up. I got time for more. 505-246-0610. Emails. An interesting one. The Dukes are all we have, says Sid. Let's give you that perspective as well. Windy season, rainy season, yucky season. Well, it's everything season around here in spring. And that means you get dirt in your eyes and your contacts. And you're probably, if you're wearing contacts or glasses, you've thought about, what if I don't have to wear them? What if you could get LASIK? What if you called Dr. Coleman over at Coleman Vision and made an appointment and maybe fixed that problem? I did that 20 plus years ago, and it's one of the best things I ever did. It was life-changing for me. I had a high degree of astigmatism. It's one of the reasons I went to see Dr. Coleman. I had LASIK. Opened my eyes and immediately saw the difference. I haven't worn lenses I wear reading glasses, but I haven't worn glasses since. The technology used over Coleman Vision is cutting edge. Dr. Stephen Coleman played a significant role in developing it, testing that. It was developed at Sandia Labs, and now it's used all over the world. People come from everywhere to Coleman Vision to have their LASIK done by Stephen Coleman, because he's the best. You've been hearing stories throughout the month of people here on the Sports Animal, how Coleman Vision changed their life, positively impact what they do every day. The procedure's quick. Dr. Coleman will even let you watch him do it on another patient and give you all the confidence you need. If you're thinking of getting rid of the lenses, call Dr. Coleman. It's all at ColemanVision.com. Go to ColemanVision.com and then make a call. Book appointment, 505-821-8880, 505-821-8880.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Oh, yeah, buddy. It's the opening drive on opening night for Duke City Gladiators. Jeff, JJ, and DC, you can still get in at 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. This came in from Sid. He said, Jeff, Dukes are all we have. Mr. Symbieta, the money black hole called Lobo Athletics, showed once again this season why they are a long, long way from ever winning any championship in sports that matter. We got 45 years of wetting the bed to prove that. And while it's nice if soccer or the Gladiators win a crown, those clubs don't have the tradition to make it meaningful, nor do they have the track record of being around long enough to build a tradition. So until Commissioner Pete Rozelle or whomever is in charge now announces the New Mexico Monsoon expansion NFL franchise, the Dukes are all we have. Competing at the highest level of their league should be the uppermost importance to the team honchos and local sports fans. It's from Sid. Basically, he's saying isotopes are the biggest, best thing you got. And that's all that matters. It's perspective. It's what matters to you, right? It's what matters to you. Lynn's in on Lobo women's basketball, JJ. Jeff, Lady Lobo fans like Lobo basketball and football want to win, but they also want stability. They were excited there was no senior night with the thought of all those girls coming back. Now they feel like the carpet has been pulled out from underneath them. P.S. Lobo basketball's non-conference strength of schedule was unacceptable at 250. What about the Lady Lobos at 350? Is that where they were?
Yeah, no one tried to sell you they played a good non-conference. Coach Bradbury said before the season he thought this was going to be a rebuilding year, and now this offseason was so unexpected. Like this, no one saw this coming.
Yeah,
you're right to be upset about this.
About the Lobo women's
the women's basketball.
With a
4 of your 5 starters are gone. Like there's no, it's not. That's not one where you can just say that's the way it is. Like this, yes, this is going to be really hard. This fan. And it's a bummer, man, because I really like this group. And if you do see it, on social media when they're all posting, their farewells to New Mexico, there's positivity from the team. So this team really did like each other. So I have no idea why it's like this.
Matt's frustrated. He said, "Where there's smoke, there's fire." He says, "I don't know Mike Bradbury, but this is really pointing to a larger problem. There have been rumblings that he's not a nice guy." There's rumblings all the time. Losing 75% of the roster is indicative of something beyond, quote, "this is just the world we now live in," end quote. I'm not calling for his job, but I don't think we just turn a blind eye and act as if this is normal. I'm sure Eddie is asking questions. I mean, is it rumbling? Look, there's rumbling. Everybody's not a nice guy. You're not a nice guy. Well, there's everybody but JJ. Like honestly, I'm a jerk. You're a jerk. Everybody but JJ.
Not the people that listen to this show.
No.
People that listen to this show despise me.
They may not like your opinions sometimes, but nobody's ever said JJ Buck's not a nice dude.
Which is fascinating.
Like nobody's ever said that. I mean, everybody, JJ's a great guy.
Dumbo.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I'm 35.
Now there's, me. I've been called me, Bradbury. We've all been called these kind of names. I don't want to get, because I don't know. JJ, I mean, what is it? Eight ladies that have left?
Portal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Charlie Cole going back home to Germany.
9.
She's done her 4 years.
Yeah.
It was that 3 Mississippi State won at UNM. She had the possibility to come back.
And then Ogman. So 10. That's your whole team.
Yes.
10 feels alarming to me. And again, I don't know what's going on in there. And I don't want to tell you, well, I mean, is anybody, is that the most in college basketball right now?
8 in the portal is
8 in the portal, 10 opted to leave, right? 10 opted to leave. That's alarming. All right, this is big news from the National Football League that came down today, and I don't know how this is going to play, man. NFL owners have approved a rule proposal. It bans the swivel hip drop tackle. What does that mean? That's that if you grab a guy from behind and you drop your body weight, and that's where ankles have been going out, right? We've seen a lot of ankles blow.
ankle injuries. Things like that.
It's a 15-yard penalty if it's flagged. I know how they're going to police it. How are you supposed to tackle a guy from behind now? The guy's running away from you. You how do you get a guy from behind? You wrap him up and then what? How do you get him down? If you can't
shove him and say, "You're down," 2-hand touch. Got you.
It's like a rugby style tackle that's spread around over the last bunch of years. And there have been lower body injuries. And I'm not telling you that they shouldn't try to figure it out, but if a defender grabs a runner with both hands, or wraps the runner with both arms, and unweights himself by swiveling and dropping his hips and or lower body, landing on or trapping the runner's legs below the knee, that's how they define this.
This is gonna be a mess.
I just don't understand how you're supposed to play defense anymore. And I'm not I'm not asking for injuries. I think it's horrible. But
now you're gonna be watching tackles and be like, "Oh, did he lean too far back? Body 15-yard penalty."
More and more. I mean, this game is so overregulated with 15-yard penalties. It is. It just is. This is where Mark Andrews hurt himself. Logan Wilson used a technique, got him down. Andrews cracked his fibula. Look, I get it. It's dangerous. Boys and girls, you're playing a dangerous game. Like, tell me how you're supposed to.
It's essentially you cannot get someone from behind unless at that point you try to take their legs out and just trip them.
Okay.
With the arm swipe and hope that an NFL athlete's just going to fall down. Okay. Like, it's one thing to take away a horse collar tackle. Yeah, that makes sense. But now even if you're from behind, you're like, oh, this is a big dude. Let me just try to bring him down by using my body weight. Well, what happens if you accidentally fall backwards? Someone hits the guy from behind. It's just so much now more of the judging intent. With, yep, I think that's a little too much weight going backwards.
I just don't get it. All right, coaching news. Stanford hired a coach this morning in college basketball. They took Washington State's Kyle Smith. Danny Sprinkle's name has been up for a lot of jobs, the Utah State coach. The Washington job's still open, right? I'm hearing Danny Sprinkle's. Is that still open? Danny Sprinkle's name there, Leon Rice there. I'm hearing that a lot. But now Washington State is open again. I don't know what they're going to be able to pay because they're going to play basketball in the West Coast Conference next year. So I don't know where there's going to go, but there's going to be a lot of Mountain West coaching names up. I can't tell you how many texts I got over the weekend showing me lists that Richard Pitino's name's not on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, people were like, oh, his name's okay. We're going to keep our look. This cycle's going to go. They're going to take that guy. That's going to open up another spot. They're going to take that guy. That's going to open up another spot. Washington's open. It's interesting. Washington State's open. That's interesting. There's a number of spots that are still open that are very interesting. But Kyle Smith has left at Washington State to go to Stanford, so that job is now open. Danny Sprinkle's name's up for a lot of jobs. I think it'll be continue to be open for a lot of jobs. Who does Louisville go get now that they didn't get what they wanted?
Dusty May, the FAU coach, went to Michigan. Who
I thought would get more than $3.5 or $3.7 million a year. But, I mean, it's nice gelt. Don't get me wrong.
Should have held out for more.
Right. Right. I don't know where they go. Is that still a job that, I mean, I don't know, it once was one of those premiers. Is it still one of those? I don't know that I know that it is. at this point. All right, what do you need to know as you go through your, what day is today? Monday. Shohei Ohtani will speak today. I don't know if he's going to take questions, but he will speak on the gambling thing. I think that's going to be, I mean, everybody's staring at that. Gladiators open up tonight at home against the San Diego Strike Force. You'll watch that. And the NFL owners have approved the ban of the swivel hip drop tackle that from behind. Thank you to Fred Griggs, who was with us today. Forrest was here from the Isotopes. It's opening week for both of them, tonight and Friday, so you get all that. Jim Rome show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4. And we'll be back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. DC, great work. Adrian looks good on the TV side. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquerque. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!